Hi everybody, I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a great week. Welcome back to the channel. Hey, if you're new here, my name is Vic and I'm a solo female nomad currently traveling around the North American continent. So today's video is part of a series that I'd like to launch focusing on the places that I stay overnight, whether it's campgrounds or RV parks, or whether I'm boondocking out in the desert or in a national forest. I'd like to keep a log of these things, and I'd like to apply certain criteria as follows. If you can think of any additional criteria that I should add, please chime in the comments. So for this winter 2024-2025, I decided to spend it in the southeastern part of the United States. Alabama, a little bit of Mississippi, and Georgia. Oh, and Florida too. So as compared to traveling out west where there's lots and lots of free camping, you don't really have those options readily available in the southeastern part of the United States. So what I did was I opted to choose a couple of good locations from which I could base myself, and I did monthly bookings, which, you know, when you do monthly bookings you tend to trigger discounts. So that's what I did, and in choosing my locations I had a number of criteria that I looked for, and today the review that I'm doing, which is Rivers and Campground on Tybee Island, meets all of those criteria. And you know, I've spent a couple of months here, so I think I'm pretty familiar with the place to do this review. The island itself and its community is pretty similar in broad respects to other islands I've stayed on. It's its own little world and offers a number of excellent eateries, bars, a grocery store, convenience store, gas stations, including diesel, hardware store, and more. There's also a beautiful beach that rings around much of the island and that you can walk on for miles and miles. Accessing the campsite is fairly easy, though you might want to get into the left lane not long after getting on the island, as the left turn to get to the campground comes up pretty quick, and you'll need to keep an eye out for the large campground signage, which is set back a bit on the left-hand side from the road. As I've been here for a couple of months, I've seen just about every type of rig navigate the campground, and the staff does provide site navigation guidance on arrival up until 10 p.m. After 10 p.m. you're kind of on your own until morning. For campsites, there are 86 RV dedicated spots with full hookups. There's also 8 cabins, and then 7 tent sites with electric and water. And lastly, there's primitive tent sites. So the primitive tent sites have no utilities. For the RV sites, you know, there's a mix of full sun, part sun, and heavily shaded. So, you know, obviously if you've got a Starlink that you need to rely on, you'll want to get one of those full sun sites if possible. Each site has a fire ring, and the staff, on asking for firewood, promptly delivered it to my site. There's also a picnic table dedicated to each site. And regarding utilities, my site's 30 amp electric worked really well. Most of the RV sites also have 50 amp. And then my site's water and sewer facilities were also in good working order throughout my stay. For amenities, each restroom includes a toilet, sink, and shower, and the door is, of course, lockable. I experienced the water get nicely hot and the water pressure was really good. Now that is a power flush. I also found that the campsite staff kept the restrooms clean, and I did use several different ones over my 2-month stay to get a good sense of it. One of my deal breaker items, if I'm going to pay RV park rates for a month, is the availability of a fitness center. At this park, there is a small fitness center that offers excellent machines. There's also a pavilion room for events, and you can reserve it. And then there's a smaller workroom / TV room, which I used not frequently, but from time to time, for puzzles and for reading. Apart from a few hiccups with the laundry facility, which were promptly addressed, The washing machines and the dryers worked really well and are fairly priced, taking quarters or credit card. And there is a change machine which always worked when I used it. There's also a laundry facility on the island that includes larger machines if you need to wash bigger items like rugs or large sleeping bags. Washing is a bit pricier there, but it is very convenient, and it is a couple of blocks from the campsite. There's also a small separate vending machine area. It's a little room that's open 24/7. And that includes a microwave and another change machine. The campground is quite dog friendly with lots of areas to walk your dog, and there are well-placed doggy stations for doggy poop disposal. There's also a small fenced-in dog park nearby, should your furry friend need to run about off-leash. The campground offers a swimming pool, which is next to a picnic area. As I stayed during winter months and the pool is not heated, I can't comment on having used it. The campground store, which is also where the registration office is located, is well stocked with a variety of things, including those related to RVs. I felt very safe and secure here at this campground. So much so also that I felt very comfortable when I got a small rental car, left my rig here, and ventured out off the island, including into neighboring states, sometimes gone for most of the day. And for campground regulations and their enforcement, including quiet hours, I found nothing really unusual. For community promoting activities, I found the campground staff really proactive in putting together, with sufficient advance notice, things like potluck suppers, arts and crafts gatherings, and they had game nights as well. And they even also had one Saturday night a ghost tour walking around the island, sharing ghouly stories for those interested. Oh, and hey, I found the campground staff to be extraordinarily friendly and helpful and responsive. You know, whenever I got an Amazon package, they were right on it. They would call me up and let me know it was there. But I do note that regular mail deliveries won't come to the campground, so take care if you're going to do it by that approach, because you might not get your package. The monthly cost for the 2 winter months that I spent at the campground were under $1,200 per month. I think the value is pretty reasonable, and it amounts to about a 15% discount. There are a variety of other discounts available. Overall, I give this campground a big thumbs up, and I look forward to returning. Cheers everyone, thanks for joining, and I hope you have a great week ahead. Bye!